just going to do a quick video today about a pallet planter. As you can see, it's pretty deep, fits in really nicely on our front step, and it's got space for loads of things. And our friend Will has done a video about how to make it.
So to build this planter, you're going to need a saw, a hammer, some gloves, tape measure, sandpaper, ideally a drill and some drill bits, although I'm going to show you a way that you can maybe get away with just using a hammer and some nails, screws, some compost and some seeds obviously. Safety wise, you're going to be dealing with a fair number of nails, so just be really careful where you're putting those. You don't want to tread on those. Definitely plenty of splinters as well, so just be careful. Putting gloves on is a real benefit for this. The saw, obviously you want to be careful of that, and drills and drill bits too, but the biggest thing is just being aware of the people around you and the space that you're going to be working in. When it comes to choosing a pallet, there are lots of different designs and sizes out there. So what generally you're looking for is something that looks pretty new, not too rotten or beaten up. Size wise, this one for example is 110 centimeters by 92 centimeters, just to give you an idea. Some of the bigger ones can be really heavy and quite hard to take apart, so maybe try and avoid those. Lots of businesses that use them are quite happy to give them away as well. Often people will just dump them around the place, so they shouldn't be too hard to find. Keep an eye out and pick one that you think fits about the space that you're going to use it in. So the first thing I'm going to need to do is cut the pallet in half to make the two sides of the planter. So to do this, I'm going to work out where halfway down the longest side is. Sometimes that can be fairly easy to do even without a tape measure. Often got a block in the middle here. So in order to cut this in half, I don't want to cut this plank in half, so I'm going to take this off and take these blocks off underneath as well. So to remove the planks from the pallet, you want to use the claw end of your hammer, get it nicely underneath and carefully and slowly just prise it up. It's quite easy to break these slats, so just be really careful, and also be careful not to overstrain your back. Eventually you should be able to pull it off, and then just carefully remove the nails and put them somewhere out of the way. Once you've done that, you need to flip the pallet over and remove the planks from the back as well, easing them up gently, and remember, do put those nails somewhere out of the way so you don't tread on them. Once you've done that, you can then flip the pallet back over. You need to measure halfway along the long edge there, mark it up and then cut it in half so that you've got the two sides of your planter. Make sure all the blocks are still in place at the bottom there, because they're the base of your planter. And now you need to make the sides, so you can use the wood that you've taken off the planter. You need to measure the length between the two sides, cut the planks to length, and then it's a case of screwing them in place. If you don't have a drill to do this, you can use nails, and I'll put a link in the description to a useful video of how you can make sure you don't split the wood when you're hammering those nails in. And gradually your planter should start to take shape. Two sides, and it should stand up by itself. Once you've done this, you need to put a bottom into your planter, something for the compost to sit on. So again, you can use the offcut wood, making sure to cut it to length and screw it into the blocks in the bottom. You can leave the uprights on if you want. If you want to attach it to a wall or something, they can be useful, but if not, you can saw them off, and the last thing you need to do is just give it a good sand. So there it is, the finished planter, ready for dropping the compost in and planting up. The compost itself can just sit in the bag like so. Just fill it in, or if you want a more aesthetically pleasing look, if you've got some big IKEA bags or other plastic or kind of fabric that you can put in there, and then that can be filled up with compost afterwards.